Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream, and it is the Big Steve Show. He's back.
I'm back. I'm ready to go. Refreshed. You know what I mean? Ready to go. Season starts now.
Yes, I mean, we've been speaking second half City for ages, and this is now second half the season City. So hopefully we run away with it like we kind of expected. Firstly, how have you been, bro? How's life been? I feel like it's been ages since we had a Big Steve Show last.
Yeah, it's good. I always try and go away just after Christmas if I can. It's a good time for me to go. So I've been to Dubai, living the dream. Had a good week out there, and yeah, I've enjoyed it. I was gutted. I watched the game out there with the Dubai Supporters Club, so they were really welcoming. Really look forward to having me over there. Can't believe how many fans of City is in Dubai. You know, expats and people in the Emirates, and then. Obviously, what a game to watch, you know what I mean? We were bouncing around, you know, there were turbans flying everywhere. There was robes getting took off. It was just one of them games, man. Flip-flops were flying. You know, it was a proper, if you looked on my stories and that, everyone was having the time of their life. But, yeah, it's that Kevin De Bruyne factor, in it. He's just landed at the right time, and he looks like he's refreshed, and he's had that breather, and he's give everyone a boost, man.
Yeah, he's come back at a good time. Is my mic still clipping? People just said it's clipping in the chat. I'm just trying to fix that now.
Seems all right to me.
Yeah, it could have just been a bit of a mad one just then, but I'll figure it out as we're going on. Kevin De Bruyne coming back was clutch. It was actually wild to see how much of an impact he can make in so little time. But did you expect him to start that game at all or not? Because I in my head, I was thinking maybe he starts and gets 60 minutes in.
I think we've done okay without him. So I don't think it's a major panic to shove him in there. I think with Newcastle having a few injuries as well, I think it was a good idea for Pep to sort of see how he would go. And like you say, we started the game like a house on fire. The tempo was so fast. Both teams was at it. It started to get like a basketball game. We was playing a high line. They were using a long ball over the top, which was working. And we were passing them to death. And then obviously we went in at 2-1 at half time, but it was never a 2-1 game at half time. It was literally like, what's just happened there? We were in control, and then bang. And then when you look at the bench and you see the plays he had, and especially when you see Kevin and you've seen what he did against Huddersfield, you just know that if you've got a fully fit De Bruyne on the bench, even coming on at 30 minutes, it's an away team's, it's a home team's nightmare. They must have been looking, thinking, we need more than two here, because these have got him on the bench. And like you say, he came on. When he came on, the game was played at Kevin's pace. He wanted to slow it down, he slowed down. If he wanted to speed it up, he sped it up. And like you say, the guy's just unbelievable. And that goal, passed it in the corner. I think there's only Kevin De Bruyne gets that goal. And then
I agree.
The amount of crosses he whipped in the box and the amount of balls he put in, we instantly looked 10 times more dangerous. And the best thing is, what people are still forgetting, we've still got our 54 goal a season Viking that's not even back yet. And then when the two of them are together, you know it's party time.
Yeah, it's wild. I feel like we've been deprived of it this season. And for so long, obviously, we've got games where we've drawn quite a few, some games where we've lost and we're disappointed in it. And a lot of people look at transfers. Should we move in January and try and get new players in? But having Kevin De Bruyne is like going signing one of the best players in world football, or going signing the best midfielder in the world just to come into your season halfway through. And I
Feel me
feel,
though. Sorry, I feel me
I
that
can't.
we have this moment every season where we all have a bit of a mini wobble. I think there's a result
Yeah.
that, like last year, I remember the Forest game, and it always stands out for me to be driving home thinking, are we going to do it this year? And then you sort of doubting yourself. But then when you look at it, the same sort of pattern went this season. People had a mini meltdown. We dropped daft points. And then you look at us now, and yeah, we're conceding goals. But listen, if we concede 2 and score 3, I'll take that all season. I'm not asked.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, Pep is Pep. And, like you said, getting De Bruyne back is like a massive new signing. I don't think we're going to go for anyone in January. I don't think we need to, maybe if we lose Calvin. But other than that, I think he likes to work with the squad. It's just keeping them fit, I think, is the key.
Yeah, the issue is, and the thing at the moment is, even if Calvin goes, I still have this thing where I don't see us getting anyone in anyway. I feel like we'll just run with what we've got. We'll try Kovacic there. We'll try other players there sitting in that deeper role. Just because of who's readily available for City to go and buy. I think City would prefer to wait until summer and then get a main signing in, like a proper CDM in, as opposed to going panic buying on someone who is half as good as what one of the main signings will be. I know we've been linked with Joshua Kimmich, but that's dead in the water now. There's Paulinho from Fulham as well, which we've been linked with as well, but again, that's something that's kind
The
of died
problem is,
off.
every single DM we get linked with and we buy, Rodri's a yardstick, and no one can compare to him. He's that good. He's that dominant.
He's too good because
He's
it's
unique. He's
yeah.
unique. You can't do it. It's like someone like Juventus needing backup for Zidane back in the day and buying someone. They're never going to be Zidane. And then that's the problem. City fans with Rodri, we're always gonna compare whoever comes into Rodri. And basically, we need to probably stop that and make sure the person that comes in does the job, not do a Rodri's job. Nobody can do Rodri's job for me. I think we need someone to come in who's solid, who can tick us along, see the games out. Fernandinho later in the years, when he became the backup, he came in 20 minutes to go. He knew when to foul. He knew when to rattle people. He knew when to drop deep. He knew when to put a tackle in. And he saw out the games. I believe we need someone like that. I think Rodri's the main man. He's got to be the main man. I think we need someone to come in, 20 minutes to go, if Rodri's tired, and just see the game out, play it cool, make the tactical fouls, get us over the line. That's all I think we need. And I think Calvin was going to be that guy, but I don't think he is that guy. I don't think he can do it.
Yeah, I think they wanted him to be that guy in it, but he's clearly not took well to like the Pep training and things like that. He's not got the system that Pep wants from him, so that's why Pep doesn't trust him at all. And it's hard. It's hard for us to sign someone who's basically second choice to Rodri. It's hard. That's more difficult than going buying your star signings. If you're going signing someone for a number one place, that's easy because you know they're going to come straight into the team. But you've got to say to these players, yeah, you're second to Rodri because Rodri is the guy. Which is why it'd be good to get someone who's versatile in like the 6 and the 8 position, because they'll get more game time having both.
I think Romeo Lavia was just a little unfortunate to be sold because I think Pep looked at him and thought he's got the talent, but moving forward, the season we was going to have last year when going for the title, the European Cup and that, I think he needed somebody he could trust, and he probably thought I'll let Romeo go. And his injury record's not been the greatest, but somebody like a Romeo Lavia now, if he was still at City, would probably be a better playoff than what he is now because he'd have been learned under Rodri, he'd have had a treble under his belt, he'd have been coming in bits and bobs. But obviously his fitness. But listen, we got the best manager in the world and the best run club in the world. So, it's very wrong. It's very rare they get it wrong. So I'm sure they've got targets up the sleeve ready to go.
Yeah. Speaking of bits of bobs, Oscar Bobb came on, didn't he? And he got the winner against Newcastle, which is mad. I'm excited for him because he's obviously there's a lot of trust from the board and Pep in Oscar Bobb after selling Cole Palmer, and I think getting him in, he's looking like a talent, and I'm enjoying the game time he's now getting. And obviously the finish to round the keeper was wild. The touch as well.
Well, this is it. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne has seen him on the after match, and he said, credit to Oscar, because he has to make that run for me to see him.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I saw Oscar's run, so fair play to him. He decided he's going to make the run. Kevin found him, and then to be that composed with that little finish around the keeper at 90 minutes, you got to give him credit. But this is the thing with City. These kids, it's a massive step up from the academy under-23s to the best team in the world. We take that for granted. They've been in and around the squad a long time. Some games he's come on, he's looked a little bit ineffective. You're going to get that. But now he's growing as a player. He's learning every single day off the best in the world. He's training with Kevin De Bruyne. He's learning off Doku. I mean, the substitution was a masterclass. The reason, when Doku was coming off, people was like, why is he taking Doku off? But if Doku gets that ball in the 90th minute, I believe Doku's first touch isn't as good as Oscar's, and I think Doku clatters into the keeper there because I don't think he pulls that little thing out. But Pep, you know, he's got a plan for Oscar Bobb. The fans love him. The chant's great, and we just got to trust this fantastic academy and the players that they're bringing through. And like you say, I remember people slagging Oscar Bobb to me, going, "Who's this Oscar Bobb? And he's crap and all that." And I'm like, listen, mate, you ain't crap if you're in the best team in the world. Even if you're in and around that squad, you've got something about you. And listen, he's already proved what he can do. So I'm looking forward to, like you say, just these little cameos now and getting him integrated into the team.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting seeing these players from the academy getting their game time and getting their time to shine in the team. Obviously, last year's we've seen a lot of Rico Lewis's time to shine in the team. I think this year we'll see a lot more of Oscar Bobb coming in, which is good, man. It's good. It's kind of like it shows what maybe Cole Palmer would have got his game time in the team had he stayed. But it is what it is. He's on to his different things, and now we've got to trust in Bob to do bits. Yes, Mohammed with a £2 super chat. Big Mohammed, he says, KDB the Prem GOAT, just as good as Omri, which is a big claim.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? These debates, I prefer to have them when Kevin's finished, because he's still not finished. He's doing his thing. His trophy cabinet's bulging. Kevin De Bruyne's doing his thing. You know, we'll have these debates when Kevin retires. When he retires, people will then realise how good Kevin De Bruyne is. And at the end of the day, I've seen ex-pros this week, even ex-rags, saying how good Kevin is. So we know how good Kevin is. Just let Kevin play. But I went to that evening with Kevin De Bruyne at the Etihad, and he basically was doing a question and answer session. And one thing that it stood out for me, he said that he feels really refreshed, that the first time in maybe like over 10 years, he's actually had a break and he's let his body heal fully. And he's been trying new methods, which he said, people have told me to try new things, but it's hard in a season to try it. You don't want to do it in case it affects you in a different way. He's had time to try it. A lot of them are working. And he said little things like taking his daughter to ballerina lessons and his son to football, which he's never done, made him relax and refreshed. And I actually got wind about 2 weeks ago. One of the lads who works at City said to me, Kevin De Bruyne in training is another level at the minute. He's absolutely another level. And I think Pep's been keeping him back, simmering him. And now I think you even have to look at him. He's got a new haircut. He looks trendy as fuck. And he's just coming on in games and just doing what the fuck he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely seems to have like a new vibe about him. The guy, he actually looks fitter than I've seen him for a long time as well. Like he looks, the pace that he's got already for a guy that's just come back rapid. I didn't expect him to be making these little sprints here and there when he's just been out of this long-term injury. But like I say, he's just been like, he's been living his best life. I mean, guy won a treble, been injured, just been able to do whatever he wants. We've seen him at F1, different things, like I say, got new hair, got new teeth, and he's just doing his own thing. And that's, like you say, if that's relaxed him, I'm all for that. If you look at before, he's been playing in the Prem, then going to Euro straight after, playing in even the friendlies. Do you know what I mean? He's been hammed out by Martinez when he was at is he the Belgian manager anymore? I'm not sure. But he was always playing the international football as well. Even when it looked like he had one leg, he'd still go straight to internationals and been playing all their games as well. So it's good to have him fully rested for once.
No, it's great to see. And you can tell he came on the other day, he kept it simple, and then it was like, you're going to play at my tempo now. And he was everywhere, just arriving in the pockets, coming deep, little through balls. and he's fantastic for us. And we needed him, man. We've done so well. I know we say we've had a few wobbles, but to be 2 points off the top
it's incredible.
In January, we know Kevin De Bruyne, no Erling Haaland. That is a great position for us to be. Great. So all's good on our side of the road. We're nice and easy with it. We're relaxed, and getting them two back, Haaland and De Bruyne, will only take us from strength to strength.
Yeah, agreed. Matt O'Donnell, yes, with the 12 months, big up for the year, mates. He says, how far is Jacob Wright from being able to back up Rodri? Look tidy against Huddersfield.
Another one, innit, off the conveyor belt, young kid, getting minutes. I think he's a long way off Rodri yet, but look, he's got his chance, and that's the one thing Pep Guardiola does, you know what I mean? He's so hard to integrate these young players into this winning machine, because if we lose 1 game or 2 games because we field youngsters, we're out of the title race, so we can't afford to do it. So he's got to be careful when he does it. Carabao Cups, FA Cups, second legs in Champions League games and stuff, when we've got a bit of a lead, they're perfect. And like you say, you look at the academy now, and there's quite a few stars in that academy that you can see getting action in the next few years.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. It's exciting time at City, especially for the younger players that are coming through, and it's good to be able to get them, see like Micah Hamilton and things like that, all these different players you get to see. That's one of the most exciting things about being a football fan, really, is seeing these youngsters come through when they get the chance. MJG, window cleaning with 8 months. Yes, mate. He says, Steve, loving your new haircut, mate.
Yeah, it's called lazy bastarditis. Can't be arsed going to the barbers or the Turkish for a shave. But it is what it is. Eggshell blonde, isn't it? It's the future.
Piplup with a 2 says, should we get a new right back? There's been a lot of heat on Walker.
Our right backs, doing things off the pitch, throwing kids about, knocking out. If you walk past him in the street, you're pregnant. So, maybe he needs to relax a little bit. Maybe he needs to go get a snip. But it was just, Kyle the other night, it was like he was watching Gordon run at him for a bit.
Yeah, it stressed me out.
And then realised, shit, it's getting a bit close. But listen, Kyle's doing his own thing. He's getting towards the later stages of his career. I'm sure City will have identified somebody. Rico Lewis might be that man. We don't know. But at the minute, it is what it is. But yeah, Kyle's... we know what Kyle's like, innit? We know what he's like.
Was you surprised that he kept the captain's armband?
I think this was part of it. I think Pep's had that meal with him in Manchester, basically realised he needed him. I think he needed him in the dressing room a lot more as well with his experience. I think there's been a couple of promises made over that Susha. 1, probably you're going to start if you're fit, and 2, you're going to be captain. So it is what it is. It's not ideal. I know he had a wobble the other week and said the fans need to remember what I've done. I think all the real fans do remember what he's done. But listen, we are allowed to criticise him a little bit. There was a reason Pep dropped him last season, went to a flat back 4 of centre-backs, and we won the treble. So it's not like we're making it up. I just feel that Kyle, sometimes his decision-making is a little bit strange, and he gets in great positions to cross, and he doesn't cross. But against Newcastle, to his credit, the cross for Bernardo Silva is what we want Kyle to do. When he's in that position, let that cross go, because there's someone in that box always ready to tap it in. The amount of times he gets to the edge of the box, he dummies across and then puts it and sends it back to the halfway line. It's a little bit frustrating. But listen, Kyle Walker's one of the best right backs we've ever seen, and I'm glad he signed a deal, to be fair. But it is what it is. It's got a lot of turmoil off the pitch. It's probably easy to blame that, but it might affect him, it might not. But I think Kyle will be all right.
I think he'll be all right. I'm hoping he comes good. Do you know what I mean? Like, after everything that's gone on. And I know he had a wobble the other night, and he's been a little bit inconsistent this year. I agree with you. I do think there was promises made at that meal for him to start. But again, like you say, it's one of the best right backs we've seen. He's one of the best right backs the Premier League's ever seen. And I was buzzing when he signed that new deal. Kyle
Walker earns his corn 1 game a season, 2 games a season. Real Madrid.
Yeah, you know it. Everyone knows it, yeah.
Follow him around, get him in your pocket, and we're happy days. So listen, no, Kyle's been good, man, but yeah, it is what it is with him. He's getting, I don't know what.
Yeah, City will be looking at their options moving forward, though, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Roberto, also, just before I go to Roberto's thing, someone said a minute ago about Pedro Porro's looking good for Spurs. Pedro Porro is actually looking good for Spurs now. I know when he first got there, he didn't look too great, but this season, man, he's looking really good as like an attacking right back.
Well, he was ours anyway. He wanted, but I think
Yeah.
it was another situation. I didn't know whether City wanted to pull the trigger on him. They got money for him, good money for him, but obviously now seeing him in the Premier League, we know that he can play in the Premier League, so it is what it is. But yeah, I think we're all right. We've got Rico there if need be. John Stones can play there. Akanji can play there. So I think the right back situation at the minute is not too bad.
Yeah, it's nothing to stress about. I don't think it's again another one that we're going to be moving in this window. I think if there was ever a situation where Pep didn't want to play Walker, he'd just move to obviously either Rico or Lewis, or I'd move to the 4 centre backs. And like you said a minute ago, it's so easy to forget. We won the treble with 4 centre backs, so we know that we can revert to that if needed. So I don't think this is the end of the 4 centre back FC. I think you'll see that quite a lot more this season. I think
people mentioning Frimpong as well in the chat. 40 million release. Frimpong was our player.
Frimpong was ours as well. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It is what it is, but yeah, I think in the summer it might be an option to get a right back in.
Mm-hmm. I think in the summer we're looking at like a right back, and you'd assume we're going to go for a CDM.
CDM, yeah, maybe even a winger, maybe even a right-sided winger.
Yeah, obviously depending on Bernardo's situation as well, because apparently he's got a £50 million buyout clause, hasn't he? Release clause in summer.
So, yeah, well, listen, for the last 3 years we were on the brink of losing him. I think if he left next season, I think we'd just have to tilt our hat and wish him all the best, like we did with Gundo. I don't think nobody wanted Gundogan to leave, but we just have to accept it. You know what I mean? People are mentioning Yankuto as well, who's a good player. I watched him for Girona last season, and he looked a little bit lightweight, and he looked like he wasn't ready. And then this season, obviously, the run there on Girona, he's putting a shift in. So it's another one that City could pull the trigger on. And then maybe Savio from Girona as well, the Brazilian kid. Not buying him back. So listen, we've got this City group going for a reason, and there's a lot of talent in this group, over 14 teams, whatever it is. And you know, we don't always have to go out and spend big money. We can pull it from within the group, and that's what it's been made for.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. Roberto, the 12 months. He says, big up City Extra and Big Steve. He says, shout out from AZ. Where's AZ?
Arizona, maybe.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Glad we sold Palmer for Bobb's playtime. He says, big up Diaz for giving Ortega confidence during NU and Rodri mad. Oh, during Newcastle and Rodri mad. Yeah, you know what was mad to see as well? Do you know when Edison got injured?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Rodri go sick at Pep in the sideline to get Edison off?
Yeah.
He went wild, didn't he? Because obviously we carried on with Edison in net, and then Rodri was
Edison's
just
never going to come off unless you're telling me, because Edison's balmy, so he's thinking, I'm staying on with one leg, no problem, I can do it.
Yeah,
and that's why someone like Rodri has to say, "Fucking get him off. We're gonna. He's a liability." You know what I mean? But yeah, it was good. But that daft offside as well. You know, called the injuries. That's a rule that needs to be put to bed. It's a bit weird, but other than that, we're doing all right.
Yeah, because it's cost us John Stones, cost us Edison in that game as well. There's something that they definitely need to look at. It can't stay like that because it's just players getting injured for nothing, basically.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yes,
Mank Ninja, yes, with a 5, says, looking forward to Tottenham, ? 9K going on a cold Friday night at 8 p.m. Sold out in 24 hours. I will be there. Yes, Mank Ninja. Are you looking forward to Spurs State? Are you going?
Oh, can't wait, man. Fantastic. I mean, you know, this football club gets a lot of shit off knobheads online. Oh, no, got no fans and all that crap. Well, Friday night, 8 o'clock, North London, is 9,000 of us knobheads coming from Manchester down south. The invasion from the north. We're coming up to a ground where we haven't won. We don't score goals, but we're just coming for just because that's what we do. So I'm expecting us to go there and have it. 9K, we're having it. Every City fan that is in that stadium that night needs to have the time of his life. If you haven't got a voice, if you still got a voice when you leave that stadium, you haven't done your job. Because I reckon 9,000 of us, there could be some scenes in that stadium. I'm looking forward to it, mate. I can't wait.
Yeah, I hope we can score a goal this time round.
I've actually running a competition on my Instagram. at Big Steve MCFC for 2 tickets in the City End. So go over there if you don't follow me on there and enter the competition. 2 tickets in the City End, 9,000. Be a part of that 9,000. People moaning you can't get tickets, get in the comp.
Yeah, the guy's giving 2 away for you, so you can't complain. Go get yourself entered into that. I think Nightbot might post the Big Steve links. If not, I'll do it in a second. But yeah, go follow Big Steve on Instagram and get yourself involved in that competition. 2 tickets available there. When you're doing the result for that, is it this weekend?
I'll do it this weekend, yeah, probably Friday or something, and then I'll get the tickets sent out to whoever's there, or they can meet me at the ground or whatever they want to do. And I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Big. Nikita, yes, with a 10. Says, my only concern is the fact that Rodri's on 7 yellow cards, and if he gets to 10, he'd miss 2 matches during our running, which we can't afford. Hopefully, we're already planning for this scenario.
Well, Rodri's had a bit of an aggressive season, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he has been a bit mad, but listen, we'll be all right. Don't worry about Rodri. He knows the game. He knows the game. Yeah,
and I think worst case, if Pep and that didn't trust him to go a certain length without getting these yellow cards, then they'd probably just try and time it well. So yeah, we'll see those situations. But yeah, City will be looking at it. They'll be looking at the situation. He has had an aggressive season this year. Even the other day against Newcastle, he looked like he was going mad at times, and I was thinking, oh no, not again. I
like him a bit aggressive though, because I think he's if you watch the huddle before the game at Newcastle, he's speaking in there. So he's found his voice, you know what I mean? It was a time where Rodri was just that nice guy that sort of did a good job. But now we've seen a few dark sides to Rodri. If he needs to mix it, he can. And he's become a big prominent member in his team, and he leads by example, you know what I mean? A bit like Yaya Toure, you know, Yaya used to just grip a game and go with it. Rodri's the same, you know what I mean? The other night against Newcastle, he was fantastic. And then that FIFA awards the other night, he didn't even get in the team of the year. It's just a joke.
Which is wild. Absolutely wild. Did you see Harry Kane as well? Harry Kane voted for Messi in like the best player thing over Erling Haaland. Like, it's wild. It's wild. I just don't understand. And also, the World Cup was taken out of it. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't nothing to do with the World Cup at all. And he still voted for Messi over Erling Haaland. So I've seen people on Twitter today saying that he's just being salty.
Yeah, well, of course he is. Of course he is, because he left at the right time, because he ain't getting nowhere near no golden boot when the big Viking boys here. So he's might as well got Bayern Munich, can he?
Yeah. And to be fair, he's having a very good season for Bayern as well. He's smashing it there. He's doing bits. Philip, yes, with a 2. He says, does Pep not trust Nunez yet?
I just think it's a bit of a bedding in period for Nunez. I think to come from Wolves, no disrespect to Wolves, to come to Wolves, to Manchester City. You know, we've seen Jack Grealish struggle with it. We've seen Leroy Sané struggle with it. Mahrez, you know what I mean? David Silva first season. We've seen all these players come in first season and sort of not struggle, but just not hit the heights. But he's another one, Nunez, that I believe in training. He's showing all the right things and looking the part. And I believe there's a player in there. I think City's done the due diligence in him. And I think you'll just see, you know, you see him towards the end of the season start to grow. It's a big move for a lot of these boys, you know what I mean? And Pep's it's not the simplest of football. You have to think about it a little bit more and probably change your style. Do you know what I mean? From Jack Grealish's point of view, you know, coming to City and being told not to do the things you've been bought, what you thought he's been bought for. I bought you to do this and do that. And then, you know, I think it's the same with Nunez. I don't think any of us know where his best position is or what he's been bought to do. I think all of a sudden, towards the end of the season, you'll see where Pep's going to fit him in, and you'll see a player in there.
Yeah, I like Nunez from what I've seen already. I think he shows the glimpses of a player that is in there. Something that, on the contrary, Calvin never showed. Like Calvin, I was willing Calvin to do the best. I wanted him to be that guy. He's just not it, and he never really showed it when we've seen it. Whereas Nunez, as much as sometimes if he's come on not really done too much, you can see glimpses of the player that's there. And I think he'll have a good career at City, Nunez, from what we've seen.
Yeah, I hope so.
Professional idiot, SS Pie mates with a 5. He says, don't forget they caused plastic 115 charges, oil, no history, fanless, Abu Dhabi cheating, glory hunting, money chest to City. Long live oil money.
Mate, I've done a pre-recorded stream. It's out on my channel at 6, and I touch on all this. It's all jealousy. It's all hatred. It's all because their own teams are not doing too well. They can't get their head round it. The only realistic thing that goes in the mind is we must be getting beat and City must be winning because they cheated. Not because their team's shit, not because their team's badly run, not because Man City's well run, because we've cheated. And you'll never win an argument with these people because that's just the hate and the spite that's in there. So the best thing is to enjoy it, embrace it. I always say it's money well spent. I can't wait for the court case. I can't wait for Khaldoon, as he said in the statement, irrefutable evidence. We've got no reason as Man City fans not to trust our chairman and our owner. Bring it on, man. But all I'm going to say, I said it's a Sky Covical guy, whatever he is, on Sky Sports. I said, listen, all I'm going to tell you is this. 11 players in sky blue shirts, v 11 players in other shirts. We wiped the floor with everybody. That's why we won them trophies. Not sort of went on in an accounting department, not who filed a tax return. 11 v 11, week in, week out, up and down the country, wipe the floor with every single team in Europe. Simple.
Yeah, agreed. That is facts. That is facts. It's the players on that pitch that won the treble. It's not no one in back office. It's not no one running these numbers. So you are right. That's the perfect response.
Listen, United got caught financial irregularity, fined. Chelsea, financial irregularity, fined. If City get caught financial irregularity, everyone wants us to be stripped of trophies and relegated. You know why that is? Because we're better than them. They don't give a shit about Man United. They don't give a shit about Everton. They don't give a shit about Forest. They give a shit about us because we're winning everything. So the only chance of their teams winning something if they get rid of us. But let me tell you now, nobody's getting relegated. Nobody's getting trophies stripped off them. It's not happening. So let them deluded and cry and whinge and moan. Because even if we get cleared, it'll be you paid them off with brown envelopes. Yeah. So you can't win in that argument ever. But it's joyous because apparently this team that nobody cares about is always trending on Twitter. He's always trending on TikTok. And New Year's Day and Christmas Day on my page, I had messages of people on Christmas Day saying, you've cheated. It doesn't mean anything. On Christmas fucking Day, mate. You know what I mean? Go and play with your kids. Go make a bacon butty. You know, if you're not with your kids, go in and be a better dad and sort yourself out. Don't be coming after Big Steve and I'm having sausage on toast, playing with Barbie dolls with my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm living the dream, mate. I've got the European Cup in my man cave. I see it every time I go for a piss. You're going in your empty house with no kids and coming for me on Christmas Day because your life's shit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. You know what I mean? There's sad people out there, but we're not one of them. We're not in the sad crew. We've just won every trophy there is to win. We've seen it with our own eyes. You know what I mean? No problem, man.
That's funny. The big up, man. That was big. That was funny. Yeah, I mean, you're right. For little old City, we don't half get spoken about a lot. It's always about us. Everything, even their wrongdoings, is somehow our fault as well. Pie with a 2 says Rodri remembering his Atletico Madrid days, with his aggressiveness, which is fair. So, says Pie again with a 2. Appreciate the super chats, everyone. It's massively supported. If you haven't already, please hit the like button on the stream. And big up to Big Steve as always for doing the Big Steve show. Aju Sabu, yes, with a 6.99 says, I think there's a change in City recruitment now. City is targeting more direct players like Doku, Nunez, Neto, etc. No Palhinha because he's similar to Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, well, listen, it's with City, we just got to trust the gaffer. Yeah. You know what I mean? He knows the game. Pep, Tixi, Ferran, all of the boys. We're one step ahead of everybody else. We've got players we link with, and if we get a feeling around the squad that we need something, they'll go and get it. You know what I mean? It's so good to be watching a football club like this. It's so good to be relaxed. You know what I mean? I look at meltdowns from other teams, full-on meltdowns, and I think, we've been there. We've been there in the meltdown days. It's not good. You know what I mean? At the minute, we're very fortunate and lucky that we've got a guy driving the ship that we all trust. So, but no, we're watching the football. We're watching Kevin De Bruyne, all that the other night. We've got a fantastic end to the season coming up again, and let's just hope we can get some more trophies in the bank.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we can get that 4-peat in the bag. Do you think treble's on? Back-to-back trebles?
Look, listen, the treble is so hard, man. It's so hard. You know, for so many years, it was the golden chalice in Manchester won it. You'll never win a treble, and we've gone and done it, and you've got to respect it how hard it was. And I can't see us doing it again. I can't see us doing it again. I could see us winning the Prem and the Champions League again.
Yeah.
You know, which I'd take all day long. But that treble was special. And there's the way, you know what? I get dragged into these shows and they say, which treble was better, City and United? You know all I'm going to say on a treble is, right? The treble is a unique room in football, yeah? A unique room in English football. And there's only 2 people sat in that fucking room. Man United and Man City. Don't matter who was better. Don't matter who was better. Yours was better. We beat you in the final. All that bullshit. The treble is a unique room with 2 Manchester clubs sat in it. You take your 99 treble and go and watch that on that video, and we'll take fucking ours and go and watch it on that video, and then that's the way it is, mate. But no, it's still not properly sunk in, that treble from last season. I mean, you watch the highlights from it and that, and what the team did and how they kept it going, and the derby in the FA Cup and the pressure, and if they'd have beat us, it would have ended the treble, and then you've lost to Man United as well. It was all crazy, and yeah.
So many factors, and yeah, like I say, it was wild, and I agree. I think it's a pointless argument. This which treble was better. I see it literally all the time. I see it on YouTube all the time. Which treble was better? It's just like it's a pointless argument because even other people who are having these arguments, the other fans, they shouldn't even be stepping to the table anyway because they've not done it.
They've never experienced. You speak to a Man United fan who was out in Barcelona in '99. And he's going to tell you it's the best night of his life. You ask a Manchester City fan who was out in Istanbul, Navadad Street, he's going to tell you the same. That's why there's no point in these pointless arguments. They've done it, we've done it, and that's it. It's there. Where you got to talk about history and all that, talk about history, because in our history book, written in black and white, you've got trebles, you've got doubles, you've got centurions, you've got formidables, you've got super cups. You've got World Club Cups, you've got Champions Leagues, you've got the record-breaking Premier League goal scorers, you've got highest assists, you've got Sergio Aguero. So people that frown on Manchester City's history, in 20 years when your kids are at school, they'll be looking back at the Premier League history and it'll be dominated by Manchester City. So don't frown on it, because while you're frowning on it, we're creating it. Simple as that.
Yeah. Facts. Absolutely facts. The 4-peat is something obviously that can happen this year, which I think is... that's a massive achievement. So that's never been done before. It's wild. It's wild to think that we're so close to that. And like you said before, we're 2 points off top now when we've not even had Kevin De Bruyne in the side at all, basically. So obviously I know he won the game for us. Well, pretty much won the game for us against Newcastle. For him to come back and then us only being 2 points off top, so many people wrote City off so early. I remember so many of the Big Steve shows where City had been dropping points, and you get people in the chat, fans from other teams. You had Arsenal fans in the chat and that laughing at us because they were above us, saying that no, it's over for you lot. It's us and Liverpool this year, and now Arsenal's sitting in 4th, we're 2nd, 2 points off top, and we've just got Kevin De Bruyne back, and we've still got Erling Haaland to come back.
Yeah, well, listen, we know what we're doing. We did it last season. We had our chest out. We didn't panic. We didn't get drawn into the stupid arguments. We were calm, and we dropped the shark bomb at the right time. That went and ran with it. And in the end, you know, we done the business, and I hope we can do the same this season. We've just got to keep the faith, keep going. And like I say, trust the manager and that. But at the minute, 2 points off top, Kevin De Bruyne fit, Erling on the way back. It looks okay.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I've seen people getting worried a little bit about Erling Haaland because he's been in training kind of like in and out, whether this stress injury is a bit taking a little bit longer than what people are thinking, or is this more Pep just being careful?
No, I think I spoke to somebody there and he just said they're not willing to risk him just yet. They're just going to make sure he's properly healed. So I think with Kevin coming back, I think that's eased the pressure a little bit. We are actually playing okay with Alvarez and that. So it's not like we're on a goal drought and we've got to rush him back because we can't score. We're actually scoring goals and we're actually doing okay. So the longer we keep him back, this could be another boost. 2 or 3 more weeks, we could be hitting a really good patch of form, and then boom, the big man comes off the bench, the stadium's up again. It's given us another wave, and we go again. So Pep will know what he's doing. I've seen Erling playing head tennis and football tennis today in Abu Dhabi on a clip. So he's knocking the ball about. So it's just a matter of time, I think.
Yeah. It's more like I say, could be a timing thing from City to give that extra boost. I mean, we've seen what Kevin De Bruyne did just to the fans when he was it the Huddersfield game when he started warming up on the sideline. It was like a goal went in, and then obviously him coming on against Newcastle again, another major thing there. So it is a big boost for the team and the fans, and I think Haaland can replicate that. Cy MCFC, yes mate. He says big up, smash the likes people, and he says see you in CPH, Steve.
What's CPH?
I have no idea what CPH is.
CPH.
Chat, do you know what CPH is? Cy MCFC in the chat. Do you know what? I thought Crystal Palace at first, but
Crystal Palace at home?
Oh, Crystal Palace at home. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe.
That does make sense.
Maybe.
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
There's a big party out in Copenhagen. I'll post it in the next few days. We've got a bar linked up and that. People are going to be playing City tunes and that. I'm going to be there. And so I'm looking forward to it. I've not to book my flight yet. I need to get it sorted, to be fair.
Yeah. So again, make sure you're following Steve for information on that. But it's just side going to Copenhagen. Mass number 2 says yes, Big Steve. But what about Man City?
What about Man City? We've just been talking about Man City for 50 minutes, mate. You tuned into the wrong channel here, or what?
Yes, Mass on, mate. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Right, I mean, like, it's pretty... The MCFC lad says we will be there. Yes, lads. Big up, mate. It's been a pretty, like, obviously, it's a quiet week this week because we've got literally nothing going on. And obviously Newcastle, so we've got another week to go until we play Spurs. But unless you got anything else to say, bro, you can...
No, I've got a obviously, apologies for not being on for a while. It just seemed to always be something going on. But
yeah, busy times.
6 o'clock tonight on my channel, I've dropped a little pre-record, just talking a bit about Dubai, a bit about the Newcastle game, a bit about FFP and stuff. So that's going out. And then at 8:30 tonight, I'm on with Daps. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. But I'm jumping in at 8:30 on Never a Foul, which obviously is a friend of City Extra. So, and we might have a nice show next week that me and you talked about before with an ex-player. So everybody keep your eyes on socials, and hopefully next week's Big Steve show will feature an ex-Manchester City player. So you get to come on live and chat to an ex-player. So me and Geordie and the boys are working on it, and hopefully we'll have some news on that soon.
Yeah, man. We'll get news on that as soon as possible. Big up to Martin. Yes, Martin from the Mancunian way. Big up, mate. He says, afternoon, lads. Time for Blues to fight back. No more slander. The medium rivals have brought everyone together. Worst thing they could have done. Truth needs saying now.
Yeah, Martin, obviously old school like me. And he's a positive fan, so he don't like the slander. We all don't like the slander, but we've just got to bide our time, play the long game. This is what I said: don't get involved in the arguments, because you'll never win. Even if we get cleared, you'll never win. Palm them people off. Keep giving them the 5 trophy emojis. Keep giving them the old Balotelli wink, because our day in court is coming. And all I say is trust the manager, trust Khaldoon, trust Sheikh Mansour, and that little paragraph in the statement that said, we look forward to giving them our irrefutable evidence. A man of Khaldoon's stature and Sheikh Mansour will not be putting out statements like that unless they have irrefutable evidence. So I am fully confident and behind my club. They've never given me a reason or anyone to doubt them. And as Manchester City supporters, you shouldn't doubt them. They've never done us wrong. Let's back the club, and can't wait till it's all done and dusted.
Yeah, man. Absolutely buzzing. Right. This stream will redirect directly to Steve's premiere of his video that's going live at 6 o'clock. So when it goes over there, just hit the like button and stay there. Obviously, in an hour, it'll go live. You say an hour, didn't you? 6. So this, this will send everyone straight over there. So.
Big shout out to Big Steve, the mental health program you shared. I've referred it to my mate, and it helped him a lot. Thanks for that. Listen, Alex, I share a lot of mental health stuff on my Instagram, and it's not because I'm suffering from mental health personally. I'm trying to send awareness. There's some great groups out there. People are struggling after Christmas. Times are hard, financial. It's cold. It's dreary. It's fucking minging. I get it. Get help. If you need help, get help. Mind, body, and soul is a big one. Go and speak to them. I think the City fans as well. You've got common ground. You can chat about football, but they'll put you in the right direction. We've lost too many good people this last 12 months to mental health. City fans. We don't want to lose anymore. We're a big community. We're all together. We help each other out. These videos help a lot of people. You guys help us when you're commenting good things and liking and that. So mind, body, and soul. Great charity. And on the next show, I'm going to tell you about another charity which has been started up by City fans on a Friday night. You go to a gym in Manchester. You all talk about the problems and you punch a few punch bags about and you do a bit of training with some Xboxes and that. They're all blues. And it's a great night. So keep tuned with that. I'll bring that next show.
That's big. That's big. Yes, everyone. Right. We'll see you next week with what could be a big Steve show. And enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you the next one. See you in a bit.